welcome back to the channel. I just saw a couple orbs, so yay, they're with us. There's such intense energy right now, and some of you may be going through emotional purging and heaviness, fear, worry. So I just felt really called to come on to just do a reading. I know I didn't do a reading yesterday. It was just kind of channeled messages. So the guides are with us. I've seen them, can feel them. Trying to think if there's anything else I want to share with you. It feels like there's some like emotional outpouring, like floodgates have been opened is kind of the message I was getting. So that conduit of energy that you share with your counterpart, you could be getting a lot of that feedback, which is really intense right now. Longing, missing, pain, regret, sorrow, memories, also the potential for oh my god, I was about to say telecommunication, but that is not correct. Telepathy. So kind of communicating through that channel. And in my experience, just a little note on that between counterparts is it doesn't necessarily come as some of my channeled download messages come, when they come very clearly, concisely, and I know exactly what the message is, because it's channeled in words. It's like clairaudience. It's like I hear sentences, I hear words, I hear exactly what I need to hear to be able to speak it to you guys. But the telepathy that happens with the counterpart, in my experience, usually comes through memories, visions, emotions. I'm trying to think if there's been any other. It's like feeling. It's kind of like when it comes out of nowhere. So it can feel very similar to you're going about having a day, doing your own thing, and then all of a sudden you just are overwhelmed with an emotion that feels like it came out of nowhere. And, I've shared this before, that you can usually know that that's not your own, that's coming from somewhere else, it's coming from the collective, it's coming from your neighbor, it's coming from blah, 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 right? So that's kind of how it seems to play out for myself when it comes to twin flame telepathy, where it's like a communication around a feeling or a memory or a vision, like a future vision. And you, most of the time, aren't even aware that you're sharing that with one another. I feel like you're constantly sending messages. The higher self is directing and guiding this, both the higher selves to kind of be able to create messages. So it can look like you have really strong visions, like you can see the future. You like see certain things that between the two of you, right? And that could be what they're manifesting or what they're envisioning, and it's coming to you kind of out of the blue and you're feeling it very strongly. Or when you get like a memory that just comes back, something between you two or whatnot, and it's out of the blue, out of nowhere. It could be something that they're really sitting with and thinking about, or yeah, you get it. So but there's no cut and dry, this is how it works with any of this. So I'd be curious to hear if anybody has different experiences on that. So we're just gonna do, I'm being called to do like one of my old school readings where I don't guide it at all. I don't ask any question. I just pull energy and feel into the energy, feel what's going on. The messages could be from masculine collective energy. They could be from feminine. We're just gonna kind of see what comes up without any direction or guidance, which I used to do readings like this quite a bit. They're timeless, so whenever you find this message, because I'm not pulling anything specific, it's just collective ether energy. So you could find this in 2029 and it could resonate for you. Also watching if I have a message that I'm getting a specific, like, yep, this is masculine energy, you could apply that to your own inner masculine energy. The unification process is such at this point as well for many in this collective that you have actually unified into one. It may not have come through in the 3D physical yet, but it always happens in the higher realms in the 5D before it comes into the more dense third dimension. So many of you are in union. whether you're in communication, whether you are able to touch, see, or feel this person in the 3D, many of you are already in union as a soul. So, when I have messages around the masculine, that's you too. You know what I mean? So watching it that way is can be very, very helpful, I found in my own experience, for deeper growth and ascension, because that's the whole point. It's always good to remind ourselves that the whole point of this is our ascension, our soul growth, versus the third dimensional limiting view of relationship and love. And I know that's really hard because we do have to live in a third dimension, and there's other people and there's other opinions and distortion and inversion and a lot of stuff. So I get it. Okay, we'll just see what happens. What do you want to tell us, Spirit? What's going on? Judgment. Yeah. Powerful. It feels like there is a reckoning. It's a highly, highly attuned, highly, highly awakened person that is getting downloads, visions, claircognizance, clairsentience, feeling and knowing and trusting and truth. So there's a lot being channeled directly from spirit, ancestors, guides. Perhaps this person is dreaming and manifesting through dream, but also getting those downloads and those intuitions and those hits through dreams. And it could actually be coming through, I'm hearing, from the maternal side of your family. So ancestors, so grandmothers, aunts, great aunts. Interesting. Strength. So this is crossed by the strength card. So yeah, it's taking a lot of courage to be able to see the truth. And this person that is experiencing this is going through a major rebirth, renewal, death, dark night of the soul process. It's a letting go, it's a purging, and that must be done individually. So it's almost like what I'm getting is, it's like every bit of darkness, every bit of falseness, every bit of devil energy, for lack of a better way to describe it, is coming up to the surface to be purified, to be cleansed, to be released. That process is not always pretty. That process can be really ugly. Death card here. Coming out, crossed by the Three of Swords and, oh wow, I didn't even see that, and the Queen of Cups. So this is a heart opening. It's exactly that message I was getting all day today. The floodgates have opened. The emotion is coming. It's a waterfall. It's like a feminine energy outpouring, because it had been tried to be contained and held back for so long, and it's now like outpouring, right? There's color here. I'm feeling color. Star card, lots of healing. There's a healing in the third eye. There's a healing in this crown chakra, an awakening. And it's a lot of truth coming really fast, which feels a little overwhelming at times. I'm getting a lack of being willing to be a novice, to be inexperienced. Okay, so this person, yeah. So there's a little bit of pride and ego holding somebody back here, because I'm getting the Three of Pentacles in reverse. So the success comes from being willing to be an apprentice, to be a novice, to learn, to put ego aside, listen to that guidance, the Ace of Wands, listen to that passion to move forward, to balance out the ego self, the pride, the fear, the worry, the regret. There's been a whole restructuring, right? We're getting an inverted mountain here. So this had to crumble. It's actually feeling like tower energy, and it's in community, it's in associations, it's in who we've collaborated with, who we've put our energy and our trust into. So this person is really taking a second look at that. They're getting a lot of awakenings with the Judgment card here. A lot of deeper understandings that what they had put their faith into, what they had built their foundation on, this mountain, was false, and it has to crumble. Therefore, it can look kind of ugly. Back to what I was saying, like The process of awakening is messy. The process of looking at yourself truthfully and allowing things to be uncovered and unburied, and then to discard of them, to allow them to die. It's ugly. Like, you can physically see it in your body when you're going through a purge, right? It looks like the color has drained out of your face. You might have dark circles. You might have bags. You might look puffy. You might feel really dehydrated. Like, it's like you cannot drink enough water, but you're always dehydrated. Just looking into your eyes, it's like the sheen is a little dull, right? And you can see all that in yourself. And maybe you can't see it, but other people can see it. 'Cause sometimes it's hard to see ourselves. But, you know, it's not a pretty process, but it is this death process, which is so necessary, which our world has been conditioned to fear so deeply. But it looks like this person is completing a cycle. So I got cut off. I've been experimenting with my recording system and why, I was trying a new one, and it looks like I get cut off in either. So good to know. We'll just have to keep editing videos together until I decide to invest in a new tool. What I was saying is there's a completion of a cycle here. We have the World card. So this is massive, because this coming out with judgment lets me know that this person has completed that purification process, or they're in the process of completing it. They're looking at it. They're not denying it. They're actually completing this cycle. They're being honest with themselves. They're getting real. And this is enabling this world energy, which is divinely guided, divinely supported, orchestrated. It's powerful. It's really someone who is releasing all that was untrue, the toxicity. High Priestess, yeah. Right as I said, all that is untrue, we get our High Priestess card. Working with the intuition around love, Knight of Cups, okay? Knight of Cups here. We also have the Knight of Wands, we have the Empress, the Four of Wands, and the Nine of Wands. So this is somebody that's almost completing the cycle of burden, and kind of the burden is the coming forward. The burden is this offer of love, okay? This is the burden. It really is. Because this person is the Empress that they are being guided to offer to. This person is their Four of Wands, their happiness, their family. This is the Twin Flame card. So that's abundantly clear, right? This is very, very true, because, look at all this major arcana, the World, Judgment, High Priestess, okay? So this offer is the fear. This person has to take themselves out of the cold. They have to get out of their own way. Five of Pentacles. And, I'm feeling that in the energy of both counterparts, truly. Because justice is coming. Justice is here. Remember I said all the color is coming back? The color is coming back. So that process, the purging, the purification, I talked about the dullness in, the skin and the face and the dehydration. The color is coming back to the cheeks, right? Six of Wands, success here. Three of Cups. This is an overflowing outpouring of emotion, truthful, honest, emotional communication. We have Daughter of Pentacles. This is the Page of Pentacles. So this is like a very slow and steady, but honest and reliable way of communicating. Three of Wands here. 10 of Wands underneath that. So there is this kind of fear. Yeah. But I don't feel like it's a debilitating fear. In the last couple of days, it's felt pretty like the energy has been stopped. That's how it's felt. But I'm feeling movement today. And I feel like it's coming from this darkness. It's coming from this dark night of the soul. So whoever I'm talking to here, whoever I'm reading for, you could be experiencing highs and lows, right? Because that's what happens when we purify, when we purge. We go through a lot of change, and it's like as low and dark and turbulent as we feel, we then come out on the other side, and then we feel that lightness and that exuberance and that freedom, and it's like intoxicating. Past life relationship. Okay, So you have known each other before. No shit. Just kidding. Yeah, so what I'm feeling actually in this healing, and you may not be conscious of this, okay? As you're going through this healing, a lot of the cycles that are being closed here, okay, is the past life pain, the past life fear. I've lost you so many times, I can't lose you again. That's a big message I've heard so many times. The pain of losing you has kept me from choosing you. Yeah, but there's so much passion here. And passion is like, it's associated with the element of fire. So it's hot. It's hot to touch. It's kind of pokey, right? But there's this magnetic friction. There's this charge. And you wouldn't have that feeling without the danger involved, right? And I'm connecting these two energies where, it's almost been like a Romeo and Juliet thing for a long time. And what I mean by that is that like star-crossed lover thing. Like I can't, like high highs, low lows. I can't fully have you. I'm always losing you. And I'm speaking, this is the one soul, right? It's the process of moving away from source, God self, moving as far away as possible to understand darkness, to understand shadows. And that's why we've been in this star-crossed lover pain, because we've been running from ourselves. And I'm really talking super esoteric here. There may not be practical application in your life right now, but there could be, because it's all remnants and it's all connected. But I guess what I'm saying is, in order to understand this reading, I think you have to get a little bit out of your conscious mind, because I think it's gonna, anyways, I'll stop with that. But like, I just can tell I'm tapping into deep rooted layers here. But there's been this like push-pull energy. That cycle is what's completing here. This could have been lifetime upon lifetime, hundreds of thousands of years. I don't know. It could have been on this planet. It could have been on others. I mean, it's deep here, okay? Of this star-crossed lover, like passion, pain, resurrection, death, loss, sorrow. And it feels like that's what we're really needing to complete here. Forgiving and learning. So what we learn through pain, through difficulty, we're then able to go and teach somebody else. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. Yeah, that's what we're doing. That's what this whole process is about. Okay, one last message from this deck, please. Soulmate. Yeah, there is no twin flame card in this deck. Yes, this is your soulmate. Yes, so everything we're talking about here, this has been your life upon lifetime mate. And it hasn't always been good. So there's pain there. But it is safe for you to love. Spirit is saying it is safe for you to love. It is safe for you to trust. Open your heart to give and receive the highest energy of all. Express your love. Free yourself. This could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner you seek. Yeah, okay. Let's get some angel messages to wrap this one up. Trust and choose. And I think there can be a lot of confusion with love, relationship advice, but the thing about a divine connection, especially a twin flame connection, which many people do not understand and many people get wrong, when you choose you, you're choosing divine love. And any relationship that asks you to not choose you, you can know is not divine love. So there doesn't need to be a fear around that. If you're choosing yourself, you're choosing this counterpart. if you feel yourself drifting away from this person, you can know there's some distortion where you're not choosing you. It's really that simple. But it's hard because when you have a lot of devil energy within you, you can't see truth. So when you have a lot of distortion, you aren't able to trust in your intuition because your intuition is inverted. It's clouded. It's not real. So the main way to be able to start trusting your intuition and your downloads is to clear your system. I was watching a lecture earlier, and they were talking about how mystery schools, you know, the legend and the truth of the mystery schools that are, you know, we went through in past lives, our ancestors, etc. They were really truly all about purification. That's what they were about. I mean, yes, once you got through that purification process, you could learn the skills and the tools and, you know, how to be a sovereign creator being and all of this beautiful stuff. But you had to purify and cleanse your soul before you could be able to trust your downloads and trust your intuition. So it feels like this energy I've been tapping into is getting there. They're very close to that. And that's why they weren't able to see this for what it was. That's why they weren't able to see the truth, because they had so much of this residue, this fear, this devil energy, this karma that they were having to live out. Also, when you're in a karmic fog, a karmic cloud, you're almost not allowed, I don't know if that's the best word, you're almost not enabled to see the truth, because if you could, you would want to get the fuck out of there as quickly as possible, but that's not the contract. The contract has to be completed and closed and finished before you can move on. So I'm really getting this as a strong thing here for whatever energy rejected this connection and wasn't able to see it in its entirety. And it was because they weren't free of their karmic payoff yet. They hadn't paid off their debts. So there was more of that devil energy, unfortunately, that had to come through. Take your power back. Okay, so this is Archangel Raziel. Use your God-given power and intention to manifest blessings in your life. Yeah, there is this like strong, passionate energy here where you use this fire to fuel you, this God-given fire to move forward and take your power back. So any fear, any weariness, any sort of like you've been broken down by life, because I believe, yeah, we had the 9 of Wands. Can you see my card? Kind of. We see that new moon there. So anywhere you felt very low energetically, down, unable to move forward, stuck, right? Because of that distrust in others, distrust in the world, just trust in yourself. You know, you don't want to make your same mistakes again. You don't want to fuck it up. It's so precious to you. You don't want to ruin it. This is the message from your guides, from your angels, from your ancestors telling you you can't fuck it up. And you manifest this in its divinity and its truth and its light by using your creator being energy, that divine energy, which is tied to sexual energy, by the way. This is I was having a conversation with the twin flame not too long ago about this, where we were really able to connect. So much of the falseness and distortion in our world has to do with the inversion of sexuality, and how when powers that be can control your sexuality and how you feel about sexuality, right? If you look at our world, then they can control you and take away your sovereignty. So there's this whole idea around the temptress or the devil energy that is through controlling through sexuality, right? And we see this dynamic so much. This is turning into a lecture for another time, so I'll pause there. But there's a lot here around sexuality in this reading, and it's using that sexuality as your life force, as your God force, as your drive to create purity and divinity, cleanse and purify your soul and your spirit back to that oneness, back to that inner truth. Don't give the darkness the satisfaction of distorting this, right? Yeah, take your power back. Spread your wings. Same message. This is what it's crossed by. This is Archangel Ariel. Do not hold back right now. The timing is perfect. You are ready to soar. So someone really needed to hear that. I love this. We also have the counselor, Archangel Azrael. You are a natural counselor, and many people benefit from your guidance and reassurance. So I feel like someone's awakening to this fact. Someone, and it's not, if there was a person who already knew that they were this, a lot of divine feminine, I think, have embraced this, and they embrace this on their journey way back. Maybe some of you are breaking into it now, and that's really exciting. But I'm really feeling that this is someone where this is part of this judgment, death, high priestess energy we got going on here, where they're realizing their power and their strength and what their true mission in life is, what they're really here to do. And people are awakening to their healing potential, that they're a healer, that they're knowing they're a counselor, they're here to teach, they're here to touch and heal the collective within. They heal themselves, and then that therefore goes out into the collective. So, but there's so many people that will benefit from your guidance and reassurance. And anyone that is anointed into that position of teacher, healer, they must experience that pain on the path in order to know how to transmute it and transmute and to heal it. So it's almost like a gift, the suffering, the difficulty. It's a gift for you to give to others, and you signed up for this in your contract. It looks like whoever this person is just got off their path for a while and got distorted from that devil energy, that manipulation of creator sexuality energy tied to money, okay? Putting too much value and worth in the 3D, in money, the flashiness, right? But I feel like they're breaking out of this. Peace, Archangel Shamuel. Peace comes from remembering that only love is real. Yeah. It's not the tangible, right? It's not what you can do or you can earn or you can give or you can show. It's who you be. It's your truth, love, right? Clairaudience, Archangel Zadkiel. Notice the loving guidance you hear inside your mind or from other people. That's a really good place to end it, because that's something that was coming through a lot in this reading, is like I could hear someone be like, how do I know what to trust? How do I know what's coming from higher self and what's coming from my fear, right? That's a good indicator. Your fear is always going to be negative. Your fear is going to be worst case scenario. Your fear is not going to feel like love, okay? But love is going to feel like love. Kindness, guiding you. Who are the people in your life that are in your corner no matter what you do, no matter what your choice is? If you go to them and you say, I'm going to quit my job, I'm going to move to Alaska, are they like supportive? Are they like, yeah, man, that's your truth, go for it, I support you? Yeah, selfishly I'm going to miss you, and I'm like, okay, like that kind of sucks for me, but if I can sense and feel this is your sovereignty, this is your truth, I'm going to support you because I love you, truly, unconditional love, right? Who are the people in your corner that are doing that? And it could be so simple, right? Who are the people that dissuade you, right? That try and say, and no one's ever going to come out and be like, oh, I'm being selfish right now, and I am, trying to convince you off this person, this path, this thing, because it doesn't help me anyway, right? But that's what's going on, right? Who are the people that support you regardless of if your choices are going to benefit them or not? Who are the people that only support you when your choices benefit them, right? And then they put up a fight if they don't. That's a good question to ask. And that was a little bit of a tangent, but I think it kind of ties into like how to know how to trust yourself, how to know how to trust people. What's devil energy? What's angel energy? And last thing I'll say is, I did this, I had a TikTok download that I did, I think the other day, but the difference between angel energy and like devil energy is like devil energy fear, right? It'll never challenge you because it doesn't want you to grow. It doesn't want you to ascend. It wants to keep and pull you back down. There's that story we hear about, I forget what type of crab it is, but when, all the crabs are in the bucket, and if one crab tries to crawl up and is about to escape, the other crabs will actually pull that crab back down. It's like, nope, It's not like, oh yay, Georgie got free. It's like, no, fuck you. If I'm in here, you're in here too. Come back down here, right? That's devil energy. But devil energy doesn't challenge, right? So devil energy is often going to be the energy that's like, oh yeah, man, yeah, that's a great idea. No, you're perfect, right? Devil energy encourages you to never challenge somebody, to never tell the truth, to never confront anything that's going to be uncomfortable, because discomfort is growth, right? So anyone in your life that it's like they never challenge you, there's never any discomfort, it's always appeasing you, whatever, that's something I would definitely want to take a second look at. But something that lovingly challenges and confronts and holds a mirror, that's angel energy, right? And I'm sure a lot of you can relate to this as like light workers. My entire life, I've been a triggering, confronting energy. Even from the time I was a little child, I was confronting the adults in my life without even knowing I was doing it, right? So it always felt like I'm being picked on, I'm being bullied, people don't like me, I don't know what I'm doing wrong, because it was my simple angel energy, my presence, right? As light workers, we're really born with this, And I've understood that. I've had that download very recently that my guides have given me, where they're like, that is true angel energy, is that because you're growing people, you're helping people be their best version, and you're not being complacent or what's the word I'm looking for here, kind of stroking their ego, right? They say like very famous wealthy people a lot of times will have yes people around them, right? I could never be a yes person. Like ever. But that's that's a really real thing. Like, and you can't even trust anyone's opinion because they're all just kind of like stroking your ego all the time, right? It's so interesting what I'm being guided to say, because it feels like whoever this person is coming out of that, right? They probably had that locked around them. And that's why it was really hard to see truth. It was really hard to face something that didn't appease their ego, that didn't stroke their ego. It felt like this is wrong, this can't be right. But they had to go through this purging and this cleansing process. Wow. Okay, I'm going to stop there because, of course, it was way longer than I intended it to be, as always. I'd love to hear how these messages resonate or hit, if they hit for you. Remember to be super compassionate with yourself. So this is, Archangel Zadkiel. Soften your heart with respect to this situation and all the people involved, including yourself, and I would say especially yourself. Soften your heart, forgive, love, learn, and teach. Okay. I hope you guys have a beautiful rest of your day. I'm sending you a lot of love and strength during these kind of challenging, choppy waters we're in, but I can feel a lot of good things coming, so keep the faith.